Learning C++ concepts is one thing, but becoming a programmer happens only when you solve problems. Today we are not learning anything new, we are putting everything you have learned into practice. In this practice lab 1, we will solve 10 beginner friendly C++ programs together and covering calculations, decision making, logical thinking, and real world application using if, else, and switch case. So hello everyone, I am Shivansh Verma and welcome back to ShivCore. Open your VS Code, keep your keyboard ready, and try solving each question before I reveal the solution. That's the fastest way to improve your programming skills. So let's begin with question number 1. So in this question we will be given with length and breadth, and we will be given with length and breadth, and we have to calculate area and perimeter of a rectangle. So here are some hints and outcomes for it. You have to store values in separate variables and don't forget brackets in perimeter formula. Sample input like length if 10 and breadth is 5, then output of area will be 50 and for perimeter will be 30. So let's begin and do this question in our VS Code. So firstly, hashtag include IOStream, next int main, and return 0 here also. One thing more, you have to use using name space standard, it's very important. So you know that length is a number and it will be integer, so we will take as int length, and you also know that breadth will be integer also, so we will take int breadth. So now firstly we will ask user to enter length, like enter the length of the rectangle. You can try with me also. The better way is that you try yourself and then check with my code and then practice. So this will display in terminal, then we will take the input as length. Now again we will write enter the breadth of the rectangle. Now here we will take breadth as input. So the formula here we can see in this PPT that the formula for area is length into breadth and perimeter is 2 into length plus breadth. So coming back to VS Code, area is equal to length into breadth, but in case to calculate area, first we have to declare the area. So here int area, and also we will declare int perimeter also. So one second, let's make its A capital, here P also capital. Area is equal to length into breadth. now see out area of the rectangle is and here area and then again end line. Here I will also take perimeter. Perimeter is 2 into length plus breadth. Now I will take again output as area of the rectangle, perimeter of the rectangle. One second. Perimeter of the rectangle is, now I will write perimeter here and then again end of line. And that's it. I believe our first code is done. And now let us take the same values as 10 and 5 for length and breadth to check it. Running this code in the terminal, first the output from terminal is enter length of the rectangle. Let me write 10 there. Now it has asked me to enter the breadth. I will write 5 here. So simply the area of the rectangle is 50 and perimeter of rectangle is 30. The same you can check in this PPT also, as area will become 50 and perimeter will become 30. So now coming to the next question. Here this question, the level of questions will gradually increase to very high level. We have a list of 20 questions very specially curated for you only. So for first 10 there will be easy to medium, and then next 10 will be medium to hard for you to understand. And if you practice these 20, you are totally complete with conditional statement and switch else, switch case and all the content till now, so that you can do their question anytime. So in this question we have to calculate area of a circle. So the formula for area of the circle is pi r square, where pi's value is already given. So in this program, write a C++ program to calculate area of circle given the radius input. The radius will be input and the rest area will be calculated. So concepts variable, input, arithmetic operator, these are all the concepts in this. So now let's come back to VS Code. Remove this. I will comment all of this, and now we'll start below here. You can see. So now I write hashtag include iostream using namespace standard int main return 0. So here I will now, to calculate the area of circle, the important thing is that the value of pi is not integer, it's in decimals. So we can take either float or we can take double. So let's see it. Firstly we will Let's take pi as float. So we will take float pi is equal to 3.14 and then radius as int. Let's take radius as float also, because it can be float also. Float radius as it is. So we will say user to enter the radius of the circle, and next we will take that as input. So now it's float radius and pi. So simply the area, let me say int area is equal to, the thing is area will be float, or it can be double also. Let's take float first and then I will explain more to you. Float pi into radius into radius. So firstly let me show directly print out area. Let's check it. So when I run this code, enter the radius of circle, let me say 4. So a radius has come like 50.24. Is it correct or not? 4 into 4 16, and 16 into 3 is, yeah, it is like 50 already. Yeah. So let's take it as 7, because in the question we have taken as 7, so we can check it as our output is correct or not. So let's run again. This time I will enter radius of circle as 7. So here the output is 153.86. It's 153.86. So let's check it. And when we come to this PPT, we can see that the sample radius 7 gives output as 153.94. So it is written like same, which means it is giving the correct output. Just the 84 has converted to 94 is because we have after 14 also 159. So it continues, pi is continues, and it's infinite. If we want to go to more precision, then we can take double there as float, and then we will multiply the same way, and it will come like 153.94 then. Or it can come in more precision if you can take more points of decimal after. So it's correct. So now moving on to our third question. We have to check the given number by user is positive, negative or 0. So in this question, the concepts here includes are if else, comparison operators. So let's say if user gives 15 as input, the output should come as positive number. If the input given is -8, then output should come as negative number. And if input is 0, the output should be 0. So let's do this question in our VS Code next. Coming back to VS Code, making all in comment. You can access this in a pinned comment. So hashtag include IOStream int main, here return 0. So now we have to take single input from the user. So you see, when we have taken 15, 0, any number in negative, it's just whole number. It is not in decimal. So we can take number as int number. So we will ask again user to enter the number to check if it's positive, negative or 0. Now one thing also to include here is using namespace standard. I forget it sometime. It is important to write using namespace standard, otherwise your output will be wrong or it will not come or it will show an error. So here we will take num as user input. So int num, enter number is taken from user. From here we will work on real thing. If num is greater than 0, then print as positive number. One thing include is to include this in strings. Yes. Else if num is less than 0, then print to the console as negative number, or else cout 0. So let's check it. When I write 15, it gives positive number. Let me run again. When I write -10, it gives negative number. You can see here negative number, before it was positive number. Now let me run again. Let me write 0 and it gives you output as 0. So means our code is correct. Everything is followed very nicely. Commenting all of it. Coming to the presentation. Yes. So here you can see 15 shows positive, -8 shows negative, 0 shows 0, which has been done by us. So next, question number 4. Very nice question. Here you have to check that which number of the given two numbers is the highest number. Let's say you can see here, write a C++ program that takes two numbers as input and prints the larger one. Sample input is 45 and 70, then output should be 70 is larger. Hint is that only one comparison is needed. Mistake is to avoid unnecessary nested if statements. So let's solve this in our VS Code. Let's hop into it. So the next question, to check which number is the largest among. So here again hashtag include iostream using name space standard int main return 0. So here we will ask user to, firstly we will give two numbers, so int num1 comma num2 both are created. Will ask user to enter them. So firstly enter the first number, scene num1, then again cout, enter the second number, here scene num2. So now to check, simply we will do if num1 is greater than num2, simply cout num1 is greater. Here in else if num1 is equal to num2, this statement here, num1 equal to num2, means to check if the number 1 is totally equal to num2. It is not declaration, it is to check that if first one is equal to second one. You can understand like LHS is equal to RHS. So here cout num1, no, we will straightly say that both numbers are equal, else cout num2 is larger. Let me write here also larger. And now let's check this code. So when I once, let me redo it. Yes, now, so that the compiler is looking good to you. So for the first number, let me write 40, 74 letter, and the second is 40. So 74 is larger. Let me fix it a little bit. So here just need to add a space, here also. So you have to make the code look good and clean. It helps a lot to understand. So here let me write again, let's say 80 and 20, so 80 is larger. And if I run again, firstly I write 30 and second I write 4, 30 is larger. And one more thing, we will check one more thing. Let's say I write both number equal, first is 70, second is 70, so it gives us both numbers are equal. This shows your capability to do code and get the output in terminal, which is a very good step for you to do. It is gradually increasing that you can understand questions, you can do coding. Now you are making some coding questions, and then the next step you learn more, and then you again do coding questions, and then you excel very well in the language, and then you can apply and learn more. You can apply for internship and very much things you can do. So now let me comment this, scroll down a little bit, see. Now let me come to our presentation. So in the question 45 70, 70 is larger is similarly we have printed. So the next question, very important, very nice, a little bit a higher level of that. To convert Celsius to Fahrenheit. So this is the formula. Fahrenheit is equal to Celsius into 9 by 5 plus 32. Example, input is 25, then output is 77. So hint is that follow order of operations. The common mistake here can be integer division in 9 by 5. So outcome, understand operator precedence. The main thing is that here in this C into 9 by 5, here C has to come into 9 and then divide by 5. No, C into 9 by 5 will be done. You understand this. So now let's try and do this in VS Code. So hopping to VS Code screen now. So hashtag include IOStream using namespace std. This should be like, you always remember that you cannot make mistake in syntax if you do a lot of coding. Return 0 easily. And now let's take int Celsius, or should be taken float Celsius. So we should take Celsius as int only. It can work like int. So I will take int Celsius. Let me see 1 second. Yes, so the spelling we have to check now. So int Celsius, and then tell the user to give, enter the temperature in Celsius to convert it to Fahrenheit, if I am not wrong here. So I will take C in Celsius. So now simply I will take here only Fahrenheit also. Fahrenheit. So Fahrenheit is equal to, firstly take round bracket, because you know, if you have watched the previous episode, you know that the brackets, round brackets, have the highest priority. And why they do so, if you wanna know more, then go to the last episode, episode 3, and you will learn very nicely in very depth there. So Fahrenheit is equal to Celsius multiplied by 9 divided by 5. And there is one more thing here to add, which is to add it after the bracket. Understand? To add it after the bracket 32, like this. I have to make F capital here also. So now when I do it, then I simply say cout Fahrenheit. So let's check it. One second, let me try to. One second. Here I will add just a little bit framing of the question. So now when I run it, let's say I will give it 25. So when I say 25, it has given 77. Let's see in the PPT also if this was the correct. So here, yes. So in this PPT also 77 should be the output. So now congratulations, you have done halfway there for this episode, and now we are coming towards the sixth question here. Now coming to the question 6, where we have to calculate simple interest. In this question we have to write a C+ program where we have to accept principal, rate and time, and in return calculate its simple interest. This is its formula. Simple interest is equal to principal into rate into time whole divided by 100. This is an sample input output where we can take principal as 10,000, rate as 8 and time as 2 years. So simple interest will come as 1600. Hint, we have to take all three values before formula. Mistake is that dividing before multiplication. And the outcome here is implement match formulas in C++. So let's solve this in VS Code. As you also know, master the code, build the future. And coming to our VS Code screen now. And here let's do this. For me, firstly let's start with hashtag include iostream using name space standard int main, here return 0 also. So for this we have to take principal amount, rate and time, which should all of it should be int also. So we will take at once int principal, rate and time. So in this principal, rate and time, firstly we have to multiplicate principal, rate and time and then divide whole of it by 100. But before that we have to take them as user input. So here I will write cout, enter the principal amount and take it as principal. Now I will again take cout. Here I will say enter the rate of interest. Now I will write rate here, and now tell the time in years and take time as input. So let me take int si as simple interest we are taking, which is equal to principal plus rate plus time divided by 100. So by chance, if you don't understand this, well, I am explaining it very nicely to you, but if in case you are unable to understand this, then you can check out the last episode, then you definitely understand. But also if you are watching this also, then it's okay, you will be understanding above 90% of it, because I am explaining it very nicely from basic and we will be going it to advanced level. So here we have calculated and given the simple interest formula. So now simply I will say cout the simple interest is, and here I will say si and end it. Let me take end line also here and take this c as small c. So now let's check 1 second for PPT. So the value taken are 10,000, 8 and 2 for principal amount, rate of interest and time. So 10,000, 8 and 2. So now coming back to the code, let me run the code. I will say principal amount as 10,000, rate of interest as 8, and the time of it in years is 2. So simply the rate of interest is 100 coming here, and the thing is why it is coming 100 here, because we have to multiply. So instead of using plus here, I will use multiply. So now let me run code again. 10,000, 2 and 100. Oh, I did mistake. I have to write it 8 here and 2 here. Let me clear it a little bit mistake. So here I will now run it again. Write 10,000, 8 and 2, and the simple interest is 1600 here. So we can check it here also, that in the presentation as we have told and checked, the simple interest is 1600. So question number 6 is solved. Now hopping to the 7th question. In this question we have to check academic percentage calculator. So in this question we have to write a C++ program that accepts marks in 5 subjects and calculate overall percentage. So in the formula the percentage should be total divided by max into 100. Let's say max will be 500 only, because it is of 5 subjects into 100, which gives 500. We can take as declare it also. So now if we take input test cases, if we take these 5, this will be output percentage. So we will check these numbers when we complete the code. So hint will be calculate total first, then percentage, integer division truncates decimals. and the outcome should be multiple inputs and calculations. So coming back to our VS Code, commenting all of this, coming to 7th question, I will say hashtag include IOStream int main before it using namespace standard. Here return 0. So I will directly declare int m1, m2, m3, m4, m5 for marks of all the 5 subjects. Okay, and now I will say cout, enter the marks of first subject, and I will take scene m1. Same way I will do, enter the marks of second subject. Same way I will mark m2 here, and the similar way I will do it for 3 more subjects. Let me do it fast. Enter the marks of the 5th subject. So here we will get all 5 number and gets all of them output as these marks. So in case to calculate these marks, I will simply say int total is equal to m1, m2, m3, m4, m5. So simply this will make int total there. So simply I will do one thing more, int max is equal to 500 as we all know. Now let me take float percentage is equal to total divided by max into 100. And now when I say total percentage is, and now I will say percentage here, and now I will say NL also here. So to check in the PPT, the 5 number are 85, 78, 92, 88, 90. So now coming back to VS Code, we will run this. right here. For first is 85. For the second one it is 78. For the third one it is 92. For the fourth one is 88. And the fifth one is 90. So you see total percentage is 0 coming here. So my concept was that here you have taken int as total, max as total as int only. You can't take this as int, float. You have to take it int. So here when I run this code now, this time again, then you check. I will write it 85, 78, 92, 88, 90. So now when I run this code and enter value as 85, 78, 92, 88, 90, you see the total percentage comes is 86.6. So we can check this in the PPT also, that the given percentage here is also 86.6. The thing was that we have to include float here, but with float also we just don't have to write 100, we also have to write 100.0 to make the division and give an answer. So this was a little tricky to understand. You have to understand it. Main work was this thing only. You already knows how to take input, give output. That's a easy thing for you. So now let us come back to the PPT. Come to the next question. Here we have to check if the given year is a leap year or not. A very good question asked by many. Some interviews also ask these questions. So write a C++ program that checks whether a given year is a leap year or not a leap year. Simple rules are: leap if divisible by 400 or divisible by 4 but not by 100. Simply a year 2024 is a leap year because it is directly not divisible by 400. It is divisible by 4 but not by 100. So the second condition, where divisible by 4 but not by 100 is active, so the given thing is this. Or either for this it is divisible by 100 but also divisible by 4. So we have to check that it should be divisible by 4 but not by 100. So you have to read all conditions carefully. Check only divisible by 4. Outcome, multiple conditions and logical operations. So now let us come back to our VS Code and do the code for this. I will write hashtag include iostream int main and here I will write return 0. Firstly we will tell user to enter the year. Enter the year. And now take year as input. We have to declare int year. also. So here work is done. I think so. I haven't done anything wrong here. One thing which is important we forget is using namespace standard. So now here I will say if year is divisible by 400, simply means that modulus 400 is equal to 0. Or year modulus 100 is not equal to 0 and year modulus 4 is equal to 0. And here I will include one more round bracket, and here I will say cout leap year or else cout not a leap year. So in this code, firstly I will clear the terminal, and now I will run this code again. So when I say 1900, it says not a leap year, which is correct. And when I say 2024, it is a leap year, that it gives as output. We can check the same in our conditionals input outputs here in this PPT, where 2024 comes as leap year, 1900 comes as not a leap year, and this is a correct code for it. So coming to the next question, we have to calculate the average of three numbers. Simple formula for it is take all three numbers and divide by 3. So let's say 20, 30 plus 40, which can be 20 plus 30, 50, 50 plus 40 is 90, and then we take divide by 3 and gives output as 30. Simple, very simple, it's easier than the last one. So now coming back to VS, if you wanna try, you can try it by yourself also. Coming to the next, hashtag include iostream using namespace standard int main, here return 0, and for this question we will take int a, b, c. Simply we will ask user to enter the number, enter first number, take it as a, enter second number, take it as b, and then last enter third number and take it as c. And now we'll take int average is equal to a plus b plus c whole divided by 3. Cout the average of the given three numbers is average. So now when I run this code, we set first as 20, second as 30, third as 40, and the average of given three numbers is 30. But let me show a similar way. Let me just comment this line and I will show you one more way to print it little better. So here I will say the total average of A, comma B, comma C is, and now we take average. Let me write end line also, and this is the way it will look more better. Let me make it like this. Yeah, now when I run this code, I will say A as 20, second number as 30, third number as 40. So see, the given is the total average of 20, 30 and 40 is 30. You see, we can take the numbers in the output statement also. So this is also a way if you want to make a little more better. You should understand this code also is easier. The easier one is before, but this one looks better is what I can say. Now commenting all of it, coming to our presentation, and the final last question for today's episode is to check whether the given is vowel or consonant. So we have to accept a character and check if it is a vowel or a consonant. Given vowels are A, E, I, O, U, and lowercase also A, E, I, O, U. If the input is A, then it's vowel, but if input is Z, then it is consonant. Hint is we have to check both uppercase and lowercase. And the possible mistake is that we check only one case, uppercase or lowercase. So the outcome should be character, comparison and logical or also used. So it's a little bit complex also. So coming to our VS Code screen, just a second. So let's start it. Hashtag include IOStream using namespace standard int main return 0. So in first we will say char letter. So in this char letter I will say, firstly we will say to check, say the user to give the number, give the character to check if it's vowel or consonant. So now the next step is that after this we will take letter as input and then we will start it, understand it like this. We will take letter as input and now we will take if letter is equal to A or letter is equal to E or letter is equal to I or letter is equal to O or letter is equal to U. So here you have to understand one thing, that we won't just take the small words, we will also take the capital words. So now after this I will take letter is equal to A in capital, letter is equal to E in capital, letter is equal to I in capital, letter is equal to O in capital, letter is equal to U in capital. So this completes our this line in which we checks all the letters that can be. So now we will say cout. Let me take here letter and then take it is a vowel. Or we can simply say else, and here take it is a consonant. We can also take here also letter. Let me remove this is and take letter here. So one thing I have to see that is that here double quotes won't work. I have to take single quotes in this, because double quotes refers to strings, but the single quotes will refer to the individual entity inside those quotes. Understand my point? And now when I take all of them in a single quote, then it will be easier to understand for the compiler. So just a second. So now our code is complete. Let me run this code. Firstly, let me clear it. Now I will run it again. So let's say for the given value I say A. Simply it's given A is a vowel. Let me say small o. One second. Yeah. O is a vowel here. Let me say any other thing. 4. It just doesn't give the any output. It just prints that number. Instead, let me say N. N is a consonant because it is not a vowel. Simply I can do for any word, any number. So it will only show it is a vowel when it is actually. So this is how, guys, we have done our last code also. And with that, on that note, I would like to thank you all for watching my episodes. It really means a lot. Do support me. I need your support. Follow, subscribe me, like my videos, check the pinned comment for PPTs, and thank you for watching. Signing off. ShivCore, as we say, build the core and master the future. Thank you for watching, guys. At the last, I would like to say that Master the core and build the future. Signing off, ShivCore.